I'm a survivor of a mild heart attack and bypass surgery, and it's been a long road. And basically what happened was I had been watching a Patriots game and experiencing what I thought was indigestion, which had been going on for a couple of weeks, and finally it got so uncomfortable that I knew something wasn't right. So we ended up at the hospital, and in turn they couldn't really put a stent in, so they transferred me to a surgical hospital, Beth Israel, and quintuple bypass. So of course part of the care is the follow-up. So once they released me, you know, I was in the hands of Parmenter
actually,
Healthcare.
before you were released, because two of our friends told me that we should use Parmenter because in one case, our friend's husband had been treated there by Parmenter at home, and then people said the hospital is going to ask you who you want for the outpatient care, and you should tell them Parmenter. So we had these recommendations, and then at the hospital, they were going to send you somewhere else, right?
Well, they had a favored healthcare or post-healthcare provider, and I said, no, I want Parmenter, and that was a done deal. And, you know, it was great. I mean, you know,
the nurse came
visiting
to the house.
nurse was phenomenal. Very, very all business, but really sweet. And the equipment they provided was state-of-the-art, you know, with all the telemetry and everything, so it did all the basic stuff and actually transmitted it to Parmenter, who in turn provided it to my cardiologist.
So we had a scale that transmitted your weight over the phone, and a
pulse ox, blood pressure, yeah.
So we didn't have to learn to even operate that stuff. It was all electronic.
And they, you know, they were very attentive in terms of calling and making sure everything was going well. And the visiting nurse clearly knew her stuff. And I later found out she was considered, you know, to be like best of the best. So I felt
Well taken care of?
well taken care of, yeah. Somewhat blessed, I guess, is the word.
So we had a really good experience, and considering that all of this, as it is, I'm sure for most people, was completely new for us to go from relatively good health to a quintuple bypass in approximately 12 hours, and, you know, we didn't know what to expect next, and so they were very helpful.
Yeah, thankfully it's been a smooth process, if you can characterize this as a smooth process with something this major in your life. But no, Parmenter made it easy, you know, after the fact, because I knew I had somebody I could rely on to ask questions, aside from trying to track down doctors and things. You know, I knew that they were just probably more accessible. And of course they were there. They were in my face, you know, every week, and, you know, if I needed more, I could have had more. I mean, but luckily, you know, my recovery was pretty easy, but they were there for us. So, you know, good people.